Hello, all of you cool, epic, and awesome listeners. You are
What
now
man?
listening to episode 9 of the Cool, Epic, Awesome podcast. I'm your co host, Matt.
Joe.
And yeah, this is our second attempt at recording this because we got like 10 minutes into a recording. And
And my
this,
Wi-Fi just decided to blow up for some reason.
yeah, good thing we weren't that far into it. But yeah, we have a very spooky-esque episode today.
We got lots of horror icons to talk about.
Yeah, well, Joe last week recommended Nosferatu. So, like that vampire from SpongeBob.
Well, man.
He's like an iconic horror character, obviously, but we'll get into that later. We got Michael Myers. We got Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Just, you know,
That I'm interested to talk about because I enjoyed the movie a lot more than you did. So I want to see like what we're gonna disagree and agree on.
yeah, no, I'm excited to talk about Black Adam, but we'll
Yeah,
we'll save that. Let's discuss
yeah,
Halloween Ends a
yeah.
bit, which discourse in general is very mixed. People either praise it and love it or just hate it. So, Joe, I know you were saying that you hadn't seen like the two movies before that
Yeah.
one.
So I haven't seen any of the new trilogy up until recently, like because I had to watch it for this. And the first one's personally, I like the second one the best. Um, I didn't really care for the third one. Even after the first one, I was like, all right, they could just end it here, and I'm okay with that. Then they did the second
Yeah.
one, and I was like, all right, like again, they could have ended at that movie too. It's even more so the second one, honestly. And then they did the third one, and I just feel like, what is the point of this movie? Because you, as you know, we're gonna discuss. Michael's in the movie for maybe 25 minutes, I'd say,
Not
at
even.
max.
I saw something on Twitter that his screen time's like 10 minutes, which
10
is pretty.
minutes?
Yeah.
No way.
Dude, if you think about it, he's never on screen. Like when do we see him? We only see him for the first time.
We see him in the sewer, and then like, there's no way it's 10 minutes. That's really bad.
It
I want to
is.
look that up.
It is, yeah. If you look on Twitter, just look up like Michael Myers screen time or something. But yeah, the thing is people were taking that number of 10 minutes and comparing it to the original Halloween. And in the original, Michael's also on screen for only like 9 or 10 minutes.
And 10 minutes and 55 seconds. Let's look at it now.
But the difference is with the original is like you feel Michael's presence through the
Yeah.
entire movie.
And
Like
Michael's
when
already established in this movie.
yeah.
Like, you know he's there. The whole like, that's what makes the first one scary is because you don't really know, like, what it is or who it is or, like, what's going on. Like, this is the 3rd installment in technically in the franchise, or in this, like, trilogy of movies. He should be in it more than 10 minutes in the finale. Like you said also, like, the whole marketing thing was, like, Halloween Ends, like, their final confrontation, and he's in it literally, like we should have said, for 10 minutes. It just didn't really make
Yeah,
sense.
it's just like and for those of you who don't know, um I mean, I guess we can give like a synopsis of the film, but it's basically, Michael Myers is a killer, and at the end of the second movie, he kills Laurie Strode, who's the main character. He kills her daughter, and then apparently goes into hiding. And this film takes place 4 years after that. So Laurie's kind of moved on, she's trying to sort of forget about
Yeah.
Michael. And then some other kid ends up like, I don't know, becoming evil somehow. And he like teams up with Michael. And he's like the main focus of the story. When in reality, it should be this final confrontation, like you were saying, between Laurie and Michael. That's what, like almost 40 years in the making. The first one
Yeah.
was from 1978.
Yeah.
So it's just like very, like, I, I don't know, what's the word? It's like, I just don't
Like,
understand.
it's like I'd say a letdown would be a good word to describe it.
Yeah, I don't get why they went this route with the story. Like, I really don't understand.
I heard there was a lot of, like, trouble f picking an ending for the movie. I heard there was, like, multiple discussed.
Yeah, I also heard they had different choices for endings. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I saw something on Twitter that one of the endings was Lori was gonna like look at Michael's dead body and then like the evil was gonna go to her and then she tries to kill her daughter at the end.
That would have been really stupid.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah,
I mean, like I'm glad they ended it how they did with, killing him
yeah.
and making sure that his body is like there's no way he
No
could be
way he could
alive.
be.
They literally like turn him into a chopped cheese like at the end.
Yeah.
They just toss him in the grater or whatever that thing's called. But
I mean, I like that they took they took a big swing on this. Like it was definitely like a departure from what we're used to with Halloween. It's just I don't think it landed, but it isn't like as bad as I feel like people are making it out to seem. Like people like compare this to like Hellraiser like 4 or 5, like and those installments in the franchise and like how like generally bad they are, and compare it to this. I feel like it's not on the same level.
yeah, and not even Hellraiser, even the other Halloween movies, like Halloween 4 through Resurrection.
And then the Rob Zombie trilogy, which I haven't seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen those. I actually do want to check those out, but yeah, those movies are terrible. This is definitely not the worst Halloween movie. And
Oh, not at all.
the movie itself is, it's not a bad movie.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's just a
Yeah,
bad Halloween movie.
yeah,
And I just like can't emphasize enough how like disappointing it is that this is the conclusion of the franchise and they focus on a character who was introduced in this movie. This kid
yeah,
Corey. Like what there's all this build up and then it's just, like a dud basically.
yeah,
Yeah, but just there's certain things with Michael that I just don't understand. Like in Halloween Kills, they at the end, which Halloween Kills is the second one. In the end, he gets like shot, stabbed, beaten basically to death, and then ends up like being fine. But then in this movie, he's in the sewer and like somehow he's able to get like out wrestled by this kid Corey, who takes his mask.
well, to be fair, I kinda took that as, he's weakened from everything that's happened to him over the last 4 I just took it as that he's, like, older and, you know.
Yeah, I think they were trying to say that like when he kills people, he regains like some sort of energy or something.
Yeah, I kinda picked that up too. I feel like that was very subtly, though. They weren't really like, it wasn't, like, completely out in the blue that every time he kills, like, he gets more, like, power or whatever, but I feel like they kinda hinted at those themes.
Yeah, and I just like I don't know, like the whole film is just weird to me because it had so much potential, and it's not that it's bad, but it's just like how can you make this your finale? Like I
Yeah.
really just don't understand. If they, I know you were talking about this in our first attempt at recording this, but you said you like the idea that there's like another killer where this evil could be passed on to someone else. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be Michael.
Yeah, I like that idea, that it could just be like, it doesn't have to be Michael, it could just be like a someone getting inspired by Michael and going around killing people.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I think that idea in itself is a good idea. Like, if they just go to a completely different town and they just show, like, this new person that, like, is inspired by the murders of Michael Myers and just starts killing people in his, like, I think that would be a cool idea to explore.
yeah. I mean, the
But,
thing is, for me, half the kills in this film are not by Michael; they're by Corey, or more than half of them.
yeah, the kills were kinda the lackluster in this film compared to the other ones, I felt
Yeah,
like. Like, the
definitely.
second one, I thought had, honestly, some of the best kills in the entire franchise.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely did. This one had some. The one where the radio host kill was cool, where like
Yeah,
he cut his tongue out. But the
like
thing is that like Corey is the one who killed him. It wasn't Michael, so it just doesn't have the same impact to me.
yeah,
You know. Corey as a character is fine. The love story between him and what's the granddaughter's name? Allison, I think.
yeah.
It's very rushed. It just didn't really make much sense to me. They like fall in love after. Like,
just didn't understand, like, how a grown-ass man is being bullied by high school kids.
yeah,
I didn't buy into that at all.
I was gonna say also the bullies are so unrealistic,
Yeah.
and they're band kids that are like bullying him.
But, like, he's an adult. Like, how are you getting bullied by you know what I mean? Like, it just
Yeah,
didn't really make any sense to me.
dude. I also something about this film that was kind of weird to me was it takes place in 2023 because 2019 was the other Halloween movie, and then this is 4 years after.
Years later, yeah.
But the whole vibes of it kind of feel like it's from the 70s or 80s. Like,
Um, personally, I didn't feel it was like that. I felt like it was set in, like, modern day to me, but that's just me.
well, just the tropes of like those bully kids, like the kids wearing a varsity
Oh, yeah, no,
jacket
it felt
and
straight
like,
out of, like, a movie from the '70s.
yeah, which was like weird to
Like,
me.
super old and outdated, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's stuff that you can tell it's 2023, like they have iPhones and shit, but
Yeah.
just in terms of those characters, you
I
know.
feel like a lot of movies suffer from that though, where, like, the bully characters are, like, so like, it's so unrealistic for modern day.
Yeah, like honestly, I mean, I know there are people like that out there, but who is like that mean? Like,
Or no to a complete stranger.
yeah.
They go up to him and ask him to buy him alcohol, and he says no, and then they just start, like, fucking harassing him.
Yeah,
Like, it's so yeah.
they're like, "Oh, you killed a kid, like you're a psycho." First of all,
How
if
the
you
fuck do
found
they even know who he is in the first place?
yeah, and also if you saw like someone who murdered a child, apparently, why would
Why
you
would you
like
go up to them and
why
ask them
would
for
you yeah,
drinks?
and why would you push their buttons and like antagonize them if
Yeah.
you think they're actually a murderer? Like I don't know, whatever. That's like kind of a nitpick, but um, dude, I think the TV on in the background is I can kind of hear it.
Oh, I could lower it a little bit.
Yeah, but
Is it better?
yeah, yeah, it's fine. I don't know. I don't understand Corey. I'm I'm tight at Corey, honestly, for
I
stealing
feel like
Michael's
if
spotlight.
they thought people were gonna just think it was really cool, and they probably would have honestly, if people got behind it, I'm sure they would have tried to do something with Corey, like, even if he was younger and you know what I mean? Like, some type
Yeah,
of
because
prequel.
if they want to continue this franchise, which they definitely will, because the movies make money, like they can't. The story of Michael and Laurie can only go so far, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to want to branch out to other things, but like I said, this is the finale of this story with Michael. So don't. Why are you focusing on a brand new character?
Yeah. I agree, no, I completely agree. If
Yeah,
they
I don't.
wanted to do this, like, I feel like you should have set up something like this in the second movie or even the first. This isn't, like, something to like, introduce a brand new character who's basically the co-lead of the movie, honestly.
He's honestly probably the lead. He
Yeah,
probably has the most screen time.
yeah. In the
Along,
finale of the movie, like, it just doesn't make any sense.
yeah, definitely not. But yeah, I mean that's basically. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say because I just like I was
I
so
mean,
just
personally, I got my point across with that. It was just the whole thing of it wasn't as bad as people make it out to be, but it's definitely a huge disappointment.
yeah. Um, did you have a favorite character even or?
I mean, I guess Michael, but he's barely in it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wanted to choose Michael, but he just isn't in it enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jamie Lee Curtis was good as Laurie Strode. This was definitely one of her better performances as that character.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know if you know about Lori. What's the actress name? Jamie Lee
y-
Curtis, right?
yeah, yeah,
I know you guys know, and she's a huge. This is a little off topic, but she's a huge One Piece fan, and I expressed interest actually, and fans are for her to join the live action One Piece show because there's a character. Um, I forgot her name. She's like kind of like a side character. She's like an older woman and she plays a doctor. And a lot of people want her to play this character in the show. She'd be in season 2 of it. And she always there was like an interview when she was doing press for Halloween Ends where she talks about how she wants to do it, but she wants to see how good the first season is.
yeah. No, I've also seen that on Twitter. Apparently, she's a fan of the show, but
Yeah.
I've heard she's like an asshole in real life.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but
She seems like she's, like, really chill. She
I'm
seems more down to earth than most celebrities, honestly.
yeah, I've seen things that she's just very like narcissistic, but
Damn, really?
yeah, what a shame. But who isn't narcissistic in
Yeah,
Hollywood?
no, that's a good point.
Yeah, and especially with this next movie we're gonna talk about,
Oh, yeah.
someone else is a little narcissistic. But well, let's talk about maybe our favorite scene in this first. I could go first. I don't know if you
Yeah,
had
you
one.
go first.
I really enjoyed the like team up kill scene where they kill the doctor and the nurse,
What was
Michael.
when they're at the house.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I was kinda
there's a callback to the original Halloween where he Michael stabs that girl and like she's hanging on the wall.
yeah.
That happens in the first movie also, which was
Yeah.
cool. It's just like a
Yeah.
nod to it.
The subtle nod to the original,
Yeah.
yeah. I like
And
when
I
they do stuff
yeah,
like
and
that.
when Corey was like wearing the scarecrow mask and they were both like killing people together, when I saw they were going that way with the story, I'm like, okay. Like
Yeah, that
there's
though that was cool. I
yeah,
enjoyed that part.
like there's two killers. This is different. It's something new. You know,
Yeah.
this could work. But then you end up having Corey trying to like steal Michael's spotlight.
Michaels.
Like he takes his
Yeah.
mask and you know,
Which kinda doesn't make sense because the town is like, just believes he's dead anyway.
yeah.
So I don't know, like, why is he like, if he coulda just worn his own mask and I don't know, but
Yeah, I think that would have worked a lot better. Um
oh,
but
yeah, definitely.
the one bad thing about having Michael team up with someone is it sort of shows that he has sympathy as a character because
Yeah. Then because
like
they always talk about how he's just pure evil. He
exactly.
has no
So
heart, so it kinda doesn't make sense. Yeah,
why would
because
he trust someone
he
else to
when he
kill them?
goes in the subway not subway, when he goes in the sewer quarry, Michael Myers just starts strangling him and then for some reason just, like,
Yeah, like why would he
doesn't
stop?
kill him.
The whole
And so I
point
guess
is
they wanna say, like, it's because
maybe he senses evil or
he sees
something.
himself in him because he killed the kid or
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, I guess that's, like, what I don't know. That's what I got from it at least.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for too. But yeah, did you have a favorite scene or no?
I mean, I like yeah, that team up kill probably was my favorite scene. I agree. But other than that, nothing really crazy stood out.
Yeah. So I guess just to rate it, I ended up giving it 2.5 stars, so 5 out of 10. And
I
I'm
gave it
just
oh, sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay. Just like I said, most people either hate it or love it, and I'm like somewhere in the middle. It's not a bad movie, but it's a bad Halloween movie and definitely a
Yeah.
bad conclusion to a franchise. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I gave it 2 stars. It was definitely a disappointment to me and the worst out of the new trilogy.
yeah. So that'll we'll probably see more Michael like eventually. There's no
Yeah.
way they're retiring the character, you know.
Yeah. I don't I kind of want them to do I'd like for them to do an anthology. Like just start completely fresh with a new killer like it, I think that would be good, but I feel like they won't do that.
Yeah, they're probably event like what at this point shit gets rebooted within like 5 years,
Yeah.
but they'll probably they'll just give the franchise to, like a new director that wants to take it on and you know
Yeah, most likely.
do a new story. But um, yeah, I guess we can. Oh wait, also I kind of want to talk about David Gordon Green, who directed these movies.
He's doing The Exorcist
He's
too,
doing
right?
yeah, he's doing another trilogy,
He's doing The Exorcist trilogy.
and they're bringing back one of the original actresses from the first. It's going to be like the same sort of thing that Halloween was, which is like they ignore the sequels and it's just a direct continuation from the first film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which it could be cool, but I don't like when they plan like trilogies in advance because how do
Yeah.
you know the first one's even going to be good? But like,
But I guess it's good to have, like, an overarching story. There's pros
yeah,
and cons to it, you know? There's
yeah,
some
but
sort of direction in the movie.
I mean, this Halloween trilogy was was planned, and they clearly like even with all this time to plan out a trilogy, they couldn't stick the landing at all.
Yeah.
And I heard a lot of it was changed like during COVID
Yeah, I did hear that too.
because they just had more time to like think about it, and they were like, "Oh wait, I actually want to do this." They started like second guessing, like choosing certain things.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. I'm disappointed, but Halloween was never my favorite like franchise to begin with in terms of horror, so I'm not like that attached like to it.
I'm still waiting for them to reboot Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street, like, there's so much shit they could do with. I don't understand how they can't get a good movie.
I think it's just out of fear of not being able to live up to like Robert Englund as Freddy because those films like it really is about Freddy, you
No,
know?
I know, but look at the Hellraiser. Like, I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was better than the original, but it's something different. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually picked up the book that Hellraiser is
Yeah,
based
I
on
remember
the
you telling
original.
me, yeah.
I'm like it's like the first time I've read a book in probably like 8 years maybe for my for my enjoyment. But yeah, I mean it's a cool read. It's like it's basically is the exact story as the original, but it's just everything is talked about in more detail and explained thoroughly.
Yeah.
Um, but Pinhead is described as being like very female-like. They don't necessarily. I in previous podcasts I said that like how like Pinhead is a girl in those books, but now that I'm reading it, it's not necessarily that Pinhead is a woman, but it's just
It's
that
just feminine.
yeah, the way that Pinhead is described is being feminine and having like a feminine voice,
Yeah.
which is
Well, they're supposed to be genderless. They're just supposed to be like these like beings.
yeah.
So it's just that she happens to be more towards the feminine side.
Yeah, but honestly, I'll
But
I'll probably finish the book by the next podcast, so maybe I
yeah.
can talk about it. But
All right. Let's
yeah, let's get to Black Adam.
yeah, because I'm pretty excited about this.
So we've been talking about this movie for a while.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm pretty sure The Rock was actually originally cast as Black Adam in like 2007.
yeah, which is insane.
Insane to think
Yeah,
about, yeah.
I think it's like a 14 years of production kind of movie,
Just
and I,
developmental hell and turnover at Warner Brothers and
yeah, where'd you end up seeing it or when?
Ended up seeing it in a theater in a Regal in Brooklyn.
Ah,
There's a little side note. I don't know why I went to see with my girlfriend, and we sat down, and she sits down, and she's like, "Is this movie Taxi Driver?" I was just like, "What?" I don't know where she got that from. I was like, "What are
Taxi
you talking
Drivers, except it's The Rock instead
Rock?"
of
Yeah,
what's his
and
face instead of De
Robert
Niro.
De Niro. Yeah,
That would be awesome. Um, yeah, I had an interesting theater experience. My theater was pretty packed out.
yeah. There was a
Like,
lot of people. I work nights, so I went at like 11. So I took a nap and went, and it was pretty packed. I went like 11:30. Like I'd say half the theater was filled.
yeah, it was mad funny though. That there was just like so much shit going on in my theater. There was kids like talking the whole time, and there's like an older woman sitting behind us that fell asleep like halfway through and was snoring mad loud. And it was just like the perfect Black Adam
Oh,
experience.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Dude, the movie I saw it with two of my buddies, and like we were actually like cracking up the entire time. Like
yeah.
the movie was to me, it was like so bad that it was good. Like, did you like seriously like enjoy it or
Yeah,
no?
I seriously did. I'm not Listen, it definitely does have a lot of flaws, which we'll talk about, but at the end of the day, I thought it was a lot of fun, and I would totally watch it again. The action was fucking really actually, that was the best action in any DC movie that they've made, honestly, ever.
I
Think about all
mean,
the DC movies.
yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's good action in like the Dark Knight trilogy, obviously,
Yeah,
but
no.
yeah, definitely up there. I mean, the way that he uses powers and like how they show him killing people is cool. Like how they get disintegrated
Yeah,
and
I thought
stuff.
they had some really creative kills, and honestly, it was kind of brutal at some points, a lot of the kills,
Yeah,
which I liked.
yeah. I think there was too much of a focus on that family though,
Yeah,
which
no, that was definitely the weakest part of the movie was the family,
dude,
100%.
that kid was
Kid is very
actually
creepy, yeah.
like I couldn't he was probably like the worst like most annoying character in any movie I've ever seen. Up there with like Ryan Reynolds in Blade 3.
Really?
Dude, he was so terrible.
I mean, he was bad, but like I didn't think he was like
Bro, his dialogue was just so horribly written.
yeah.
Like there's that part at the beginning where he's on a skateboard and like drives past that he like rides past that security dude and he just starts going into this rant and he's literally a kid and he's like, why are you guys coming here and stealing all of our natural resources and like why are you guys terrorizing us and
Like
keeping
I didn't
us
think
locked
that
in?
was that
Like, bro,
like
no kid is gonna say that. Like,
I mean, I didn't think like I mean he's younger. He's not like a kid like 5. I thought he was what, probably like 12 to 15ish.
yeah.
Like so
No, and
he's
it's
if
it's
you're
not to. I mean, at the end of the day, like the actor, he's a kid. You know, I'm not gonna be tight at him if he gives a bad performance. But like, just the dialogue that they wrote for him was just so out of touch with
it
how
was
kids are. And
well, I mean it's more for like the somebody that's living under that. So that's one of the things I actually enjoyed about the movie, and I wish they leaned into it more. Is just the idea of like the as a we're gonna talk about the JSA too, but um Kondak as a nation being like constantly like controlled by different like groups and stuff, and like finally they have someone that's there to like liberate them, and like because he's killing people, like the JSA comes in and is like, no, 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 like this is not how you do it. Like we're not gonna do this. But like, where was the JSA the whole entire time they were being occupied by all these like horrible groups?
yeah, and
It's
that's
like the idea of like imperialism and like people getting involved in stuff they shouldn't be involved in. And I thought that was a really good like, and honestly kind of deep for the movie. I was surprised that they went with that. And I wish they leaned into it more. Like I know there's a scene of like what the hell's the girl's name?
yeah, the main woman. I forget her
Whatever
name.
the yeah, she was talking to Hawkman and just saying how the whole nation is behind like behind him and you're gonna try and stop him from liberating us. Like I thought it was a really cool and interesting idea for the plot of the movie because it has like big world ramifications because you see stuff like this happen in real life. So I was like, wow, this is kind of like deep for a movie with The Rock in it. Like I was kind of surprised, honestly.
Yeah. What did you think of his performance?
It was good. I mean, I didn't like like he was fine. I mean, Black Adam's not really like a super deep character, so like
Yeah,
he did fine. Like I didn't think he
I
was bad.
yeah. I mean, I just think he had like
Oh, some of the
he
dialogue was a little cringy, but I feel like that's more in the script.
yeah he had zero charisma to me. I mean, he's just like I thought maybe he would have put in a little more for this role, but he's just like The Rock again. It's not like like I knew what I was getting going into it. Um,
Like I don't think he was bad by any stretch.
I mean I don't know.
I
Uh,
thought he was fine.
I
Like
think he was bad, but like we're just so used to The Rock by now that it is what it is. Like it's not
listen,
like
he's not. It's not like this is some
it's not
Grammy
Taxi
winning.
Driver,
Yeah, yeah. Like I
but
wasn't going into this thinking that, but I think he did fine. Like I don't know. Like
yeah, I
it's
just
not
like
a. I'm not going into the movie expecting this like mind bending, like such a worthy performance. Like at the end of the day, it's The Rock. Like I'm there to watch him like beat the shit out of everybody. Like I don't give a like. I yes, the dialogue isn't the best, and he has some like cringy moments, but like that's fine. I'm not there for that. I'm there for the
yeah,
fucking fight scenes.
I just like couldn't take him seriously. Like every single time there was like a zoom to him or like him floating or flying, like I just started cracking up laughing. Like
I actually, honestly, like I kind of bought into it, the whole floating thing. Like he made it look cool, honestly.
yeah, I mean, to me, like this character is not Black Adam. He's just The Rock flying around. Like I didn't really
Like
see
what?
Black
Like,
Adam.
but what is your? Here's the thing. Like, what is your idea of Black Adam?
I see him as sort of similar to Black Panther. He's like a powerful, like regal leader who's, he's serious, but like I feel like he has to have
Yeah,
more of like a regal, like leadership type of vibe to him. The most that I know Black Adam from is from the Injustice games and those
yeah, and
stories.
he rules Kondak. Yeah,
Yeah, and he's like I don't know. I enjoyed him more in that than I did The Rock in this. But again, like I said, like I would still watch the movie again. And if this
oh,
is
I'd
the way,
100% watch it again. I
yeah,
am gonna watch it again.
if this is the way that they like continue the DCEU, like I'm fine with it. You know, I still enjoyed the movie. I just don't think it was good.
I think it was good. Not like amazing, but it was good.
Yeah. You want to talk about the JSA a little bit? I was gonna say, I don't really understand like what Amanda Waller does in the universe. Do you?
She just I don't know, she's some kind of overarching type of she's kinda like their Nick Fury, I guess, kind of, in a way.
Yeah, because I was in the theater. One of my friends who was with me, he doesn't like the comic book stuff like as much as I do, but he's still into it.
Mhm.
He was like, "Yo, is she like the Nick Fury of DC?" And I was like, "No," but then I was like, "Wait, like I
She
guess
kind of
she
is,
kind of
yeah.
is, yeah." But
There's no, like, shield or anything, but, like, she's just, like, a government figure with, like, just kind of watch like, she works for the US government, so, like, she's just kind of, like, watching things going on and.
yeah, and one thing I did like was the interconnectivity of it with the rest of the DC
DCU.
universe. Like they had the guy at the Wizard Shazam in it,
The same actor, yeah.
same actor. They had Amanda
I
Waller.
like that I was talking about this too. This and the Suicide Squad, they're with these movies is that they're introducing heroes like already established, which I think is a very good idea. Like I
Yeah.
like that they don't I don't need an origin story for the JSA. Like I like that they just introduce them like that. Like they're
Well, the
already
thing is,
established.
I do disagree a little bit because
Mhm.
first of all, the JSA being there already like just doesn't really make much sense in like the scheme of what has happened previous in the universe and how they haven't showed up. But again, like that's just it's for writing's sake. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, but like the JSA besides Doctor Fate and like Hawkman also was just like pretty flat to me,
I
especially
mean that's
Atom
half the
Smasher.
team.
No, I know, dude, but it's only four people. Like it's not
Yeah.
like Atom Smasher was all right. Like
He's okay.
his face looked like Deadpool, but his character was basically just haha
The
funny
villain.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like it,
No, I didn't
uh,
think he was, like, funny dead I thought he was just, like, the comedic relief, but I get the whole, like I didn't think of his performance to think of
yeah, he was
you know,
just the
I didn't
classic
think of
quirky
Deadpool.
character. But like him and what's the other girl's name? Cyclone or something?
Yeah.
They were just like not explored at all. Like I want to know something about their backstory
Well, I think
or
they're gonna do something with the JSA,
yeah, I mean I hope they
100%.
do.
'Cause, I mean, I feel like in a lot of the reviews, the thing people like the most are like, Doctor Fate and Hawkman. I feel like are the biggest standouts that I see.
Yeah, Doctor Fate was
Doctor
definitely
Fate
my
was sick.
favorite. He was
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite character,
Yeah.
and he's the best actor in the movie,
Mhm.
Brosnan.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was also very speaking about Injustice, he was very similar to Injustice 2. He had used a lot of the same moves and
Yeah, I
stuff.
thought that was really cool. See, I feel like when they do shit like that, it means, like, they're paying attention to, like they know fans love that shit when they do kind of similar like, I think they did it in Spider-Man too. There's, like, a move he did in the movie that they did that's in
It's
Spider-Man
in the
PS4.
yeah, and yeah, I like how they just borrow stuff to from each
Yeah.
other to, make the best product they can. But yeah, one thing I want to talk about though is the suits. All the suits were really cool.
Yeah, I was
Some of
saying, like, I think this movie has the best overall out of all the heroes and villains, has the best suits out of any superhero movie I've ever seen.
yeah, I really, really loved Black Adam's like second suit with
Yeah.
the gold belt and like the
Hawkman's suit was
huge
really
gold.
good. Doctor Fate's suit was really good.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean
and
Adam
then Atom
Smasher's
Smasher
whatever.
and Cyclone were fine.
Yeah, but yeah, like I just couldn't get like that was one thing I really, really liked when he like when The Rock ends up saying Shazam again and then getting his powers back. That suit that he had on was really cool.
Yeah. It
And
was
also
more, like,
like
comic accurate.
to get into spoilers, not even spoilers, but this is like the big story of the movie. When Superman shows up at the end, his suit is really cool. It's like a
Yeah,
brightened up version of Man of Steel suit, which I thought
yeah,
was too dark. So I guess do you want to talk about that? I mean, that is the big story here.
yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see them cross over with each other eventually.
Yeah,
I want them I'd love for, like, a Superman and Shazam Black I know there's an animated movie, and I don't know let me get off sorry. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a lot of like really good action in the movie, and I'd love for them to like take inspiration from that animated movie.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know if you've
I don't
seen the
know. I don't know
uh
like how they're gonna because like him beefing with Superman, like for the story purpose, like kind of makes sense at this point.
yeah,
Because
I
like
mean it's like the way that he's building it up, it's not like a rivalry from the comics at all. Like
no,
Superman versus
no,
Black, it's Black Adam versus Shazam, which they're still gonna do, I think.
yeah, no,
There's
they will
already
do
like
it.
a couple things that have crossover between the two, like
Yeah,
the um the Wizard Shazam obviously and how he has to like say the word to get his powers. Dude, also I thought when he you know how he says Shazam, he loses powers and they put him on like a body double? That looked terrible.
oh, what was it like? They did like this the Captain
Yeah,
America
yeah,
thing.
yeah. But it's just like The Rock's
Yeah,
head
it just
on like
kinda yeah, it
I
wasn't
mean,
really
yeah.
their fault.
No,
They did
yeah,
they
no,
did
it's not their
it's
fault. It was funny
it's just
though.
like it's because it's The Rock, and, like, you just know he's, like that's what he doesn't look like that, so it just, like,
Yeah.
makes it really weird. It's like a what's the term? When something doesn't look real, it's, like, humanoid.
Oh, fuck,
Oh, Uncanny Valley.
yeah, Uncanny
It
Valley
was
for
like
sure.
that, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, hold on, someone's knocking at my door. Yeah, I'm recording my thing, dude. Very good. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Um, but what was I saying? I'm sorry.
Um, what about
Fortnite.
it? Like,
The Rock's in
oh,
Fortnite.
the Uncanny Valley type of thing about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that was just funny to me, like seeing his head on that body. Um, but
That
yeah,
was
dude, there was also like a couple lines in the movie that were just like, remember when that scene where he's like in the air and then Hawkman's like, "You better not drop those prisoners,"
yeah,
and then The
yeah,
Rock's like, "I'm not gonna drop the prisoners. I'm gonna drop one of them," and like just
yeah.
drops him like it was.
The whole thing of, like, them being like, "Oh, like, heroes don't kill people." Like, I get it, like, I do get it, but, like, I feel like it just sounds so cliche.
Yeah, and also like they rehashed that, and The Rock has like that similar type of line like at least like 5 times. He says something
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I kill people." Um, but yeah, I mean, it is cool to explore that, like how sometimes killing people is necessary in terms in like these worlds,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. And you like that's something that happened in Man of Steel too, which is like Superman has to kill General Zod, even though
yeah.
he doesn't kill people, but
He
it's like
just kinda
it's
has to do it,
basically
yeah.
the only way. Yeah.
Also, wait, I forgot to mention this too. The way that he kills Sabak was, like, I was so, like, over the top and fucking I thought it was sick. He literally just rips him in half. I was
Yeah, I
like,
thought that was cool for sure.
yeah.
Um, Sabak though, like he's actually terrible as a villain.
Yeah, he's like, what I mean, I was just like the most generic
Yeah,
villain,
and like
whatever.
he's not really. I feel like he wasn't built up to at all. Like all of a sudden at the end, it's just like the guy
Um,
gets the powers and like he
yeah,
becomes.
because I feel like they had like this crown, the crown, but they don't never really explain like what
He
the
honestly
crown
shouldn't have.
actually
He shouldn't have
does.
even been in it. Like it should have just been JSA versus Black Adam, and then eventually at the end they like come to a conclusion that they're just gonna both do their separate things, whatever.
Well, like I know originally, like before COVID, like remember they released like a teaser, like I think Eclipso was gonna be the villain.
Oh yes, yes, they put out a picture of him, didn't they?
Yeah,
Let me see if I
yeah.
can find this. I completely forgot about that.
No,
The
man, get
fact,
off the screen. No, whatever.
um, yeah, wait, I just want to pull up a picture really quick. See if I can find it. Um, oh no, they low key put a picture of it for Stargirl.
No, but there's a teaser of like him with like
Oh, the
Eclipso
gem.
gem. Yeah.
That would have probably been like a better villain. I think Sabak looked pretty bad too. His design.
Nah, I kind of like this design.
I think when
I
they
mean, I
went
like
to
like the
when
demonic type of look.
yeah when they went to hell, the demons down there they
Oh, they
had
look
cool
sick.
designs. It looks
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
If Sabak had like something similar to that, that would have been cool.
Well, isn't he like I was reading? He's basically like Shazam. but for like the like demons or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's how they like based on him getting his. They were like, "Oh, you're the champion of hell," and they give him his powers.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I just like there's no like build up really to it. Like you just like see them they're fighting at the end. You just don't care. Like you don't even this like Sabak has no backstory. Like they just said, "Oh, he's a descendant of the original like ruler from back then," and that was it.
yeah.
Um, but
I don't know if you
yeah, I'm
saw, but have you the box office for this weekend worldwide?
yeah, isn't it like 130 or something?
140 million, which
It's
honestly is
pretty.
good. It's pretty
It's
good,
okay.
yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
For a brand new character,
I mean, it is The
like being
Rock,
introduced,
so
yeah,
he's gonna. As much as I could say I don't like him, this and that, he does like know how to get people in seats.
yeah,
I was in the city yesterday, and um, me and my friends, we were like in Times Square. We walked past the wax museum, and they had The Rock's wax figure like outside in the front, and mad people were like taking pictures of him and stuff.
yeah.
And then we ended up going. We like went to Dave and Buster's for some reason. We just stopped by there, and like right outside there was a giant cardboard cutout of The Rock with like his tequila. And I was like, dude, like this guy has such a hold on like society.
Society, yeah,
Like he's like you
yeah,
actually can't escape him.
yeah.
Um,
Honestly, though, a lot of like the good turmoil going on at DC is like due to him. He's 100% the reason why Cavill's back. Like that's all
yeah,
him.
yeah, and I do have to give him credit because I have a history of hating on The Rock
David Rock, yeah,
in these episodes. But what he's doing at DC and like getting some sort of cohesion to their universe, getting back fan favorites like Henry Cavill, I
yeah,
have to give him props. He genuinely cares about what the fans want.
yeah,
So, yeah, I guess my favorite character, I already said it's Dr. Fate,
yeah.
Pierce
Mine's Doctor
Brosnan.
Fate as well.
Um, I can't really think of a favorite scene that I had. I don't know
There's
if
a lot of
anything's,
cool scenes in the movie, honestly. Um, in my opinion, one little like kind of cute, funny scene I like was when he watches the what is the good, the bad, the ugly on
yeah,
TV,
yeah.
and then he does that in the fight. I thought that
Uh,
was a cool.
I thought
I like
that,
when movies do stuff like that.
I mean, I thought that was stupid, but well,
Really?
it's not that it's just like I can't take it seriously. Like it's just The Rock, like shooting finger guns. Like, I don't know.
But
Maybe
like the whole point is like he saw the like you get the point of the scene, right?
yeah, but why would the guy he's fighting just like do a standoff with him? Like,
Oh, it's a superhero movie. Isn't that
no,
you're
I
not
know,
supposed
I
to?
know, I know. Like I am hating. I can't lie. But what'd you think of that scene where it was like the Quicksilver, where he's like, it was literally an exact rip
Oh,
off of the.
I thought it
That
was
was,
good. I like
you like that?
like it was kind of brutal. Like just throwing like airplane, not airplane, the
Yeah, I feel like
helicopter.
my favorite scene was probably like when he first got out and was like killing all those people.
Yeah, I remember that was first released. That was like the first scene released from the movie. I was like, damn,
Yeah,
this is like kind of fucking dark. I was like, holy shit.
yeah, it
Because
was
he's
pretty
literally like
brutal.
blowing up people and shit. I was like, damn.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's my favorite. I don't really know. I guess to rate it, we have varying opinions on this, but to me, it's a
Yeah.
two-star film. So yeah, 4 out of 10. It just, I don't know. I just think it was very poorly made. Terrible writing, bad dialogue. Also random, but the music was awful. I don't know if you even picked up on that.
I thought it
The
was
music,
fun.
to me, the
Honestly, I
music was terrible, but pretty bad performances overall. I don't know. I really wanted to like this, but I just don't, and I just can't
I
take The
don't
Rock serious.
I disagree, man.
It's because of my own bias, I guess, but
I
it would,
disagree. I feel like I gave it 3.5 stars, and I had a lot of fun. It was one of the. Not me. Stop sitting on the laptop. Sorry.
get her.
Um,
She's gonna accidentally close this thing.
I know that's why. Um, it was a lot of fun. The most fun I've had in watching like a superhero movie in a while, honestly.
Yeah,
And listen, I know the script is bad and the plot is kind of but I had a lot of fun. I like you can't deny that the movie is fun at
yeah,
least.
it's fun.
At
It's
baseline, it's fun. Like, and tell me, like, would you rather rewatch this or rewatch like any other DC movie. I mean, maybe the Suicide Squad I'd rewatch before. Not me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, maybe I'd rewatch like the Suicide Squad as opposed to this, but I don't know. I thought it was fun, and most like a lot of like my friends are like casual fans, and they really enjoyed it. And then I have another friend that's like kind of like a big superhero guy, and he loved it too.
Maybe I'm just a hater. I
I
don't know.
honestly do that kind of.
It's alright. I'll
Like,
be a
it's
hater.
definitely not good. It's definitely, like, not a good movie. Like, the script is bad, but everything else
Dude,
lands, like, the action.
I think people just want to like it because they want DC to be good and they want like to have this similar MCU kind of
Nah, I
universe.
disagree. If it was bad, people would rip it to shreds. It's compare this to, like, the Snyder-esque movies. At least these are fun. They're
Yeah.
vibrant, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like Snyder either, but
I like Snyder either, yeah.
that's a whole different thing. What did your girlfriend think of it?
I mean, we both worked that night, so she passed out halfway through the movie. She didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah.
She thought, like, she thought, like, that guy was the devil and, like, The Rock was gonna bring Jesus or something, like, she had no idea what was going on.
The Rock was gonna just be Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
Well,
But, I
yeah.
mean, like, the audience, like, was pretty, like, into the movie. There was, people were generally surprised by the I mean, we were on Twitter, so we kinda knew that was coming, but people were surprised by the post-credit scene.
Yeah. Yeah, the post-credit scene got a bunch of like cheers from my
Yeah.
audience. Yeah, the one good thing wait, you gave this a rate, you rated it, right? I forget.
Yeah, I gave it 3.5.
Oh, okay. Um, what was I gonna say? This is like a good transition, but the one good thing or one of the good things about it is like it's sort of establishing this cohesive Marvel MCU-esque universe with
Yeah.
like projects moving forward and a bunch just got announced. Well, not announced, but
They kinda give a little light to what's going on at DC, like,
yeah,
in terms of,
and the
like, the movies
future.
and yeah.
And yeah, hold on, I have some of it written down. So, first of all, they're planning a Superman solo film with Henry Cavill returning, which would be like a Man of Steel 2, but it would probably be like vastly different.
Yeah.
He's not actually signed yet though, but
But it's all very early, right?
yeah, it's just they already have a producer attached. I
Isn't it,
forget who.
the guy who did the, uh, fuck, what's the name of it? Mission Impossible with him in it, like, the one that he's in?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm pretty
Maybe
sure
I
it's
don't.
that guy. It's like it's like McCrish I forgot his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but James Gunn is doing a DC project, a new one. Which could be anything. It's probably gonna be. He likes like going for unknown characters. It's probably
I
just gonna end
saw
up.
there's like a team that I'm gonna pull it up.
I think it's gonna end up being the Suicide Squad 2, probably.
No, it's not the Suicide Squad, it's like a different team. I forgot. I saw it. Hold on.
But yeah, you could tell. Um, there was a lot of stuff from his movies in Black Adam, like or the girl from Peacemaker, who's like his wife in real life. She made an appearance in it. Amanda Waller's in it,
Yeah.
so they want to keep him around. I don't know if you saw, but The Rock was saying like on in interviews that he wants to do like like Black Adam versus Justice League versus Suicide Squad and have Joker like Joaquin Phoenix in it too.
I think he just does that, like, to appease the fan. Like, I don't think in
And
all seriousness he's gonna like,
can you
he just says
imagine
shit like that to
Joker and Black Adam sharing
yeah,
the
like, I
screen?
saw, like, he said something that he was like, "Oh," like, they asked him about, like, Barry Keoghan's Joker, and he was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, like, it's a great performance." Like, who knows? Maybe one day they could like, maybe it's just like him, like, and also, like, I don't think he actually wants to cross over with Barry Keoghan's Joker. It's just like something that's just kinda, like, appease the fans, like, "Oh, like, you never know." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the fans love him, you know.
Yeah.
So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I mean, for like, do you think that DCEU has a future? And
Um, I mean, this definitely helps it out more than it hurts it. put
Yeah.
it that way. Like, we have more clarity on what's going on more now with the DCEU than we did before. Like, as
Yeah.
opposed to, like, you saw Justice League and you were kinda like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, what you know what I mean?
Yeah, this
Like,
is
it's
definitely
kinda
on, like, a good path.
track. Yeah, yeah. Listen, it's not amazing, but it's definitely better than most of the stuff they put I think it's more in line with, like Aquaman, Shazam, that type of movie.
Yeah, I didn't oh, yeah, I completely forgot about Shazam because I was thinking about, like, what movies this universe is gonna, like, be based on. I was thinking Black Adam, Suicide Squad, and, like, whatever this new Superman movie is, but I forgot there's also, like, the Shazam sorta corner, but that is with, like, Black Adam, really.
Oh, the team's called the Janus Directive, JNUS. That's what it's based off of. I mean, it's
What?
not like 100% confirmed, but that's
Oh,
what
his next movie, maybe?
yeah, yeah, I was trying to find it.
Yeah, I think Black Adam's
And
gonna be making cameos in a bunch of these
a lot of
movies
stuff,
coming up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, there's rumors like, I forgot the actor's name, but the dude who plays Deathstroke,
Uh, yeah, I forget his name, but,
Joe Manganiello.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Apparently, like, there's rumors he might appear in it, which would be fucking sick.
Yeah, he was actually pretty sick for, like, the one scene that he's
One scene
in.
he was in, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just, like, hope they do something with this because they always just tease stuff and just never pay it off. Um, and it is kinda weird because, like, we don't know where we stand with the canon of everything. Because you have, like, Zack Snyder's Justice League, you have, like, the Wonder Woman, Aquaman, like, Joss Whedon Justice League universe that's different,
Yeah,
and I think The Flash is probably gonna be the
and
film
more
that sort
light, yeah.
of yeah, and also Michael Keaton's Batman is somehow in that, which I guess we'll
Mhm.
see. Um,
Well, Superman apparently is gonna be in, The Flash now too.
yeah, as, like, he'll show up at the end,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know if you saw what's going on with this, but apparently, because I know you talked about how, like, The Rock is the reason why Henry Cavill came back. They were planning on doing, like,
Doing a headless, yeah. I
this
did see that.
Superman cameo anyway, it's just, like, they wouldn't show the face, which thank God they did not do that, that would've been so dumb.
Yeah, so you gotta thank The Rock for that as much as you hate him.
Yeah. No, I don't hate it.
Not hate him, but you
I
know
like
what I
him.
mean.
But, like, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said before, like, I'll give him credit in terms of that stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah, also DC said that in terms of their other like universes, the Batman universe with Matt Reeves, they're gonna explore different villains in not only like shows for HBO Max, but maybe movies. And they specifically mentioned Clayface, Scarecrow, and Professor Pig.
oh, I did
Um,
see that, yeah,
a Scarecrow in like that universe just sounds like so sick to me. I love Scarecrow,
yeah.
and
The only thing that I want them to do this is, like I love everything that Matt Reeves has done, this is my one request. Please, please do, like, the more not realistic Batman villains, like, be comic accurate to them. Like, I want if we get a Clayface project, like, I want Clayface to be, like, this hulking monster. I don't want it to be some fucking, like, "Oh, he had, like, some face accident, so he looks all weird." Like, make him actually Clay. Like, I don't wanna do this, like, hyper like, the realistic version of him, like listen, Batman has his realistic villains, and you can do that, but in terms of villains like Mr. Freeze, like Clayface, Man Bat, like those type of villains, like I want them to do it more in the style of how they are in the comics
yeah,
than
I agree.
actually.
I
You know what
would
I
just,
mean?
just don't like half-ass it, go full in into those
Yeah,
aspects of it. Like it's like how realistic can it be? It already is a guy just as a bat like fighting people. Like
yeah,
it's not like it's that realistic as an idea in
exactly,
general.
exactly.
So you might as well just, make don't be afraid to make a guy made out of clay that can shapeshift. Like who cares?
Yeah,
But yeah, I like how they're having faith in this separate universe as well and letting Matt Reeves have like his own corner and just be able to do what he wants.
yeah,
Because Batman himself, like the thing about DC is just Batman himself could have like his own MCU level universe, not even
yeah.
including
No,
any
100%.
of
Look
the
at
other
him and
DC characters.
Spider-Man are the 2 characters that probably could.
Yeah. Um yeah, and also I picked up Gotham Knights, the new game. I played a
Oh,
little last night. I didn't get too much time to play it.
it looks ass. I didn't even bother.
I like it so far. It's enjoyable. I like the stuff. The combat is nowhere near Arkham. That's the one thing I'll say.
Yeah.
But so far, I'm enjoying it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
But
just Batman. Like you see him everywhere. You know,
yeah,
he's like the face of DC,
yeah,
and that's why they're developing this other stuff. I kind of do wish Marvel would do maybe like be more lenient to do stuff that's
something like
not
that.
just like at a service to the greater MCU. Like
Like
stuff
just
that's why
something like
Werewolf by Night
standalone.
was
Yeah.
really good.
Well, I think they're gonna lean more into that.
Yeah, I don't know if I forget if this was mentioned already last podcast. I don't think it was, but apparently Sacha Baron Cohen was
Oh
that's his
yeah,
name,
he's
right?
playing
He's
Mephisto,
playing Mephisto apparently.
which I fucking love that casting.
Yeah, that's really really good casting,
I
and
love
he's
Sacha Baron Cohen is probably one of my I don't know, not so much actor, but everything that he's like involved in producing, I'm a huge fan of.
yeah,
Like
and
all
he
like the Borat, he had a series on HBO called Who is America, which I really enjoyed.
yeah that show is insane, dude.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, like he's fucking hysterical, and he's a good actor too. He was great in The Trial of the Chicago 7. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't, but yeah, I've heard great things about him in that.
So I'm surprised that he's doing something like this, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like all these actors that swear off of like the MCU are just gonna eventually join it. Like,
Because it's
I,
like it's fucking they know it's gonna make money. And
yeah,
like you it's like guaranteed jobs for like a couple gigs usually. Like it's not a lot of one-off people. Like
yeah,
like I'm sure he's gonna appear in some other stuff besides Ironheart. You know what I mean?
hmm for sure. And apparently he's getting a Halloween special too, which would be really cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like
Oh,
just a
that's sick.
rumor, but I think Grace Randolph might have said something about
I
it.
want him like when he pulls up, I want him to be like the devil character is like supposed to be like a sharp dressed like guy. Like he'll be like maybe in like a red suit or something. Like I want them to
Nah,
do that.
I don't want that. I kind of want them to go like full out, just make him look like the devil, like paint his skin red, do all that.
No, I mean, I think they'll show him look like a devil at some point, but I feel like when he's on Earth, at least they're gonna make him look like
No,
a
I
sharp.
agree. Yeah, I agree. I think they definitely are gonna do that. I just wish they went the more like traditional comic books way of it.
But he dresses like that in the comics too.
Does he? I don't.
Yeah, there's iterations of him. Like he'll be on Earth. Like there was one comic I was reading. He made a deal with the fuck's his name?
Spider-Man?
No, Coulson. Like Coulson becomes president, and like he sells his soul. Coulson sells his soul to Mephisto to become president. But like Mephisto basically just does his bidding through him, and like there's like a pit. They like reveal it, and like the last page is like Mephisto in like a suit, like drinking a martini.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's what they're gonna end up doing.
Yeah,
Kind of like that show, like Lucifer or whatever,
yeah, like in that
where
in
he's
that vein. Yeah,
um yeah, and also apparently Adam Driver met with Marvel to
I
talk
saw
about a
that
role
too.
in Fantastic Four.
I don't know how true that is though.
I mean, he's such a great actor that he could, if that is true, he could literally be Doctor Doom or he could be Reed. He could pull off either of them.
Yeah,
Um, he's one of my favorite actors. So, and he has a relationship with Disney already because he was
yeah.
in this.
The Spider-Man, Star Wars movies.
Yeah. Um. So I don't. Oh wait, this is one thing we forgot to talk about last episode that I
What?
definitely want to is She-Hulk.
Oh yeah.
We never even
What
discussed Daredevil, and this now that the series over, we could kind of like
a little
talk
deeper into
about
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it as a whole. I think Daredevil's sick in it, and I
Yeah,
really love the
I
show.
enjoyed him. I know people are like, "Oh, like, they ruined Daredevil." It's like, wow, because he fucking smiles, like, it's stupid. I get, like, he was a little darker on the Netflix one, but, like, he still has a lot of lighthearted moments in the comics.
Yeah, and
And he
I
was
like
fun,
how
he still felt like a Netflix show, honestly. It didn't really
yeah,
feel
no, he
different.
did, and his suit is
Sick,
sick.
yeah.
I like how they made him very like acrobatic.
Yeah, yeah.
They did, which the Netflix shows
Yeah.
didn't really dive
Well, I
into.
feel like that's more a little bit, like, the budget because it's kind of
Yeah,
little CGI stuff,
Yeah,
but
I was just gonna say that. And also, like, if he started like doing flips and looking like that in those like in the Daredevil show, it would kind of like seem
but he
off.
also has some like regular good fight scenes too, like hand to hand combat, not just like him flipping around and shit, you know?
Yeah, and he had a like him and Tatiana Maslany had like great chemistry on screen.
Chemistry, yeah. I kind of want them to stay a couple in the MCU.
I feel like they were kind of leaning towards that, especially with the
And
ending where like
coming up at the end, yeah,
he has like a family dinner with them.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, the last episode was awesome. I thought I really loved it.
yeah.
Just
So do I.
like they went all out with the fourth wall break, and they had like the fake Kevin Feige. It was like it was funny, you know.
Yeah,
They're like because people always say like, oh, there's just like a machine that produces all these movies. They
yeah,
like put in an
yeah,
algorithm of what's gonna make the most money, and like that's the joke is that you know that he actually is a robot.
yeah. No,
Um,
I liked it.
yeah, I like the jokes about the CGI where he's like, oh, if you're gonna
Oh
transform
yeah,
back,
just
like
off
wait
camera.
wait till the camera's off you.
Yeah,
He's like, our CGI artists have moved on to other projects, and it
and they played
played
the
like,
Wakanda theme.
yeah, which was cool. Um, the show in general was very, they like pushed the edge of what they could show in like a Disney show. Like, there hasn't been like that much like sex in any Marvel thing before.
Yeah,
They really were not scared to go into that, and like,
which is fine. Like
yeah,
I don't have a problem with it. Like it's like a normal thing that people do.
yeah,
Like
no,
it's
that's what I'm saying. It's a part of life. Like,
like
there's
I
no
don't
reason why.
understand like people like it's fucking listen, people can have criticisms about the show. Like it's not perfect. I think it was definitely one of the better Disney Plus shows. But like people be like, oh, like it's woke and this shit, like because like a girl has sex, like it's stupid. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, and just
everybody I don't know, you know.
yeah, you know, you just got to be careful with it because like if you don't like the show, that doesn't mean you're sexist.
No,
Like
not at
it's not
all.
like
But
everyone
like
who doesn't like the show isn't like sexist
but
or
some people are using it as an excuse to be sexist.
yeah, for sure.
Like, there's definitely some valid criticisms of the show, which I get. But, like,
100%.
if you're just mad because, like, there's a fucking girl lead, like, I'm sorry, but you're a loser. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Like, you're
Yeah, and
getting that pressed over a fucking TV show.
I saw people on Twitter saying that, and this is really true when I started to think about it. Like if that same exact thing happened at the end, except it was Deadpool instead of She-Hulk doing the fourth wall breaking and going into the real world and like telling the producers to change his ending, people would have ate it up and loved it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They
Yeah.
would've thought it was like fucking, "Oh, that's so funny." Like, you know, like, no one even had said anything.
Yeah, and because there's this agenda of like
Woman.
anti-wokeness or
Yeah.
whatever, people were hating
Because a
on it and
woman
saying
is
it's
like
stupid.
why do people like yeah, like I don't even know why like what all the hate is about. Like I generally enjoyed the show. I thought it was one of the better MCU shows, honestly.
It definitely yeah, it was. It was
And
probably
honestly, it's one of the
like top
most
3.
comic accurate superhero shows ever made.
Yeah, for sure.
This
Just
is how the character is. Like, well, if you like it or not, this is how she acts.
yeah. Um Yeah, but I think it's just like that like Twitter's just like an insane place. Um
Yeah.
where it's like this minority of what is it called? Like the loud minority or something?
The loud majority.
No, no, no. It's like the like a small group of people, but they're the ones who like talk the
Oh,
most.
oh.
I
Yeah,
forget
it's
what
like the fucking incels on Twitter and
I forget what the term for it is, but like they're the ones like it's not like Twitter and the internet isn't real life, you
life. Yeah,
know?
no, because if like that's an example. Like people, I feel like a lot of people on Twitter like were shitting on Black Adam, but like in real life, a lot of people actually in like the movie.
Yeah. And I don't think like that group of like woman haters and woke people is like that big of a actual group in terms of who's watching the show. And also, if you don't like the show, just don't
While you
watch it.
watch exactly while you watching it.
If your only reason to watch it is just to complain on Twitter after, just don't fucking watch it at that point.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, The one thing that I didn't like with the end was Hulk's son and how he was introduced.
I thought it was alright. I
Like,
didn't think it
he looks terrible. Why did they give him hair like that?
well, like, I don't know if you know, but, because I was watching a video about it, so that hair style is very similar to, like, a lot of, like, um, Japanese, like, samurai type of thing, like, where it's, like, something to that hairstyle has something to do with, like, a fight, like, some type of discipline, fighting, I think to imply that he was, like, training on Sakar or something, like, that's what I like, if you know what I mean? Like, when you ever watch, like, those old school j or even, like I know
I
you
know,
don't watch,
yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But
but would he look better with, like, the regular longer hair? Yeah, I
yeah,
agree, but
I feel like
I
I
don't think
think
he's gonna keep that haircut.
they're gonna end up giving him the longer hair, I think.
Yeah.
And all these Hulks are apparently gonna be in Captain America 4,
Yeah, I did see that.
which is gonna have the leader as the main villain, who's like
Yeah,
a character from the 2008 Incredible Hulk film, which
yeah.
is finally coming back. Also, huge news is that I think we were talking about this last episode, but Harrison Ford is
Yes,
officially confirmed to be
it's
playing.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, and I think they just have plans for Red Hulk, who's like such a people want that. I feel like people really wanted that character to appear.
Yeah,
So they're just because I mean, obviously it's terrible that what's his face died, William Hurt,
yeah,
but they were willing to recast, and the fact that they got Harrison Ford is like crazy to me. I'm
that's
like really
insane.
hyped for the press tours when people are asking like Marvel
There's no
questions.
I don't think he's gonna do press, there's no way.
Yeah,
I highly doubt he's gonna do press.
they'll be like, "Oh, what's your favorite Marvel character?" And he'll be like, "I don't give a fuck."
Yeah.
Like,
Nah,
but
it's actually so funny that I feel like with the Star Wars, the people a little bit more nerdy.
yeah,
And, like, they ask all these, like, like, I remember, like, they asked him, like, "Oh, like, who shot first, like, you or Greedo?" And he's like, "Who gives a sh" You ever see the thing of him with,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
the Lego Millennium Falcon that the guy built, and he just fucking, like, throws it on the floor?
No,
You
um,
never saw that?
no, I
You gotta
saw
look that up.
something where the fuck was it? Oh yeah, they were like, "Oh, when you show up in the last shot, I forgot which movie it is, Rise of Skywalker. Were you a
This year
Force
he was Force
ghost
Ghost. He's
or
like,
you're like a vision?" He's like, "I don't know what the fuck that is," or something. Like he just like doesn't care.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, he's a good actor, obviously. So
No,
I'm
yeah.
hyped that
You don't have to fucking love it, like
I'm hyped for his take. I feel like
yeah,
he's not gonna be in human form too much. Like he's gonna just show up, do his scenes as Thunderbolt Ross, and then they'll just like have a mocap guy do the Red Hulk
yeah,
stuff,
yeah, no,
which is fine.
yeah.
Um, but
But
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I don't think there's much else. There wasn't a lot of movie news this week. We didn't
no.
post anything to our Instagram because there was like
No,
no
next week
trailers.
there'll probably be more because I mean we're gonna get Black Panther next week, which I'm assuming they're gonna drop an Ant-Man trailer with Black Panther.
Yeah, wait, Black Panther's November 11th, so that's not gonna be until the podcast after.
I'm sorry. Is there anything? No, because it's the 4th and the 11th.
Let me see.
Oh no, I'm an idiot. We have
Yeah,
Halloween.
no, it's the 28th, the 4th, and the
Is
11th.
anything even coming out?
Um, no, but I have an idea for what to watch. It's my turn to recommend something, but
I mean, I know like the One Piece movie comes out November 4th, so I'm gonna go watch that
is that a show or movie?
movie.
Wait, it's a movie?
Yeah, the One
Oh,
Piece. So like similar to like Dragon Ball.
oh, wait, I thought you were talking about live action.
No, 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 no. They're made like it's an animated One Piece movie. It comes out like this November 4th, so in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I had an idea because I'll recommend my movie this week, and after this episode, if things go to plan, we'll get to 1,000 plays overall on Apple Podcasts. So
Mhm.
as like a celebration of that, I was thinking maybe we could let the fans decide which movie we watch for the next one, if you're down for that.
Yeah, I'd be down. That
Yeah,
sounds fun.
I'll like post an Instagram thing and whatever, like everyone could comment a movie that they want, and then
Yeah,
whatever one gets the most likes, we could watch that, and we'll, you know,
that's fun. Yeah,
especially since nothing's coming out this week, it's like a perfect time to do it.
yeah.
But
But I
yeah,
damn, I didn't realize that because that means not this podcast, but the next podcast we fucking stacked because we have Black Panther. Then the menu comes out the 18th.
oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the menu actually looks sick.
yeah.
I don't know if you saw that trailer,
I
but
no, I did. I forgot that it was coming out.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that for sure. Um, but yeah, let's move on to the next film, which you recommended last week. I don't know if you want to give a little introduction to this one.
Yeah, so I recommended Nosferatu, which is a silent film made in the 1922, I believe it came out.
Yep. Yep.
And it's basically about this guy that he moves, right, to honestly, it
Um,
was kind of hard to follow at times with I don't know if it's just because
yeah,
the quality.
it's basically just an interpretation of Bram Stoker's Dracula, the
Yeah,
book, and it's about, this vampire that moves to does he move to Transylvania or from Transylvania? I forget.
two,
But
two.
he what's it called? Yeah, he just like follows around this dude. He bites him and like he's going after his wife and it's like this classic vampire story and it's like the
Yeah,
first time that a vampire story has been made in this media or
yeah,
medium, I should say. Um but it was kind of funny that you recommended this because it like this movie is literally 100 years old.
yeah. It's actually
Isn't
insane to think about that.
It's the oldest film I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Um like, just a lot of the shit that when I was watching, I was like, "Damn, like, how did they pull this off?" In terms of, like, recording and, like, making the film,
yeah.
and just, like, everything behind the scenes was probably so insane, like, back then, if they needed to, like, do a stunt, there was no stuntman.
Oh well, yeah.
Like,
I was
they just
watching.
do
Yeah,
it, and then, like, they could just die, and then, like,
yeah.
just, like, everything that went into
Making a movie, it was a lot more dangerous.
yeah, and, a lot of the shots, I was like, "Dude, how the fuck did they do that?" Like,
Yeah,
there was, like, shots of them, like, out to sea on a boat. Like, they must have had to bring, like, whatever giant film cameras they were using and put them onto a boat just to record that.
well, didn't they did, what is it called? They had, like, oh, I can't think of it. They used it in Nope, actually. The where they crank it.
Maybe.
They use film, that's how they made it, and they would,
Oh, yeah,
like
no, I mean, obviously, it's made on film, but
and they kinda, like, stitch things together. So, I mean, it was possible, it was hard.
yeah, and that's why I, like, respect it a lot more.
Yeah.
Um, what's it called? Let me think. Okay, yeah, so it's a silent film. What did you think? Because I've seen another silent film before, so I was kinda
Um,
used to how it goes, but
I feel like it takes a very talented person to make a silent film because you have to be able to well, not I mean, talented people all around because you don't have like, you can't, like your characters aren't speaking. So, to get your point across, you have to have very good actors, like, about facial expressions and movements and stuff like that.
yeah, I was gonna say they're very, like, eccentric in how they
Yeah. So they
act
yeah,
and
they have
move.
to be, yeah.
They have to be, yeah, and, like, when, like, the screen goes black and they put on, like, whatever words they're saying
Yeah,
and stuff, that is sort of used as a way to put exposition in those films because they can't, like, explain the story by having characters talk to each other about,
yeah,
like, what's going on, so they have to, like, put it, like, in those chunks of showing dialogue on the screen. Um, there's, like, so much backstory with this movie. They basically made it without Bram Stoker's approval.
yeah. They that his, like, design is completely different from it's just supposed to be like a ripoff.
Yeah, and they got sued by Bram Stoker's widow, and all the copies of the film had to be destroyed.
Really? I didn't know that.
And eventually, like there was another copy somewhere that resurfaced, and they made copies of it. But like that, we were like that close to just never even seeing
Mm,
this film
damn.
in general, which is crazy. And like, there's so many things in this that are just inspirations for every single vampire like that's ever came after.
Yeah,
Even Morbius. Like, I don't know
and
how I don't know how we've gone from Nosferatu to Morbius, but
yeah, it's been
like,
a long, 100 years.
yeah. For the film though, it was like in way more settings than I expected. Like, they literally were on a boat at a point.
Yeah, they're in the
Like,
woods.
I thought it was kinda just gonna be this small, like,
Yeah, I
story
thought it was
told in
only
this
gonna be, like, in the
castle.
castle, yeah, I didn't expect it. And honestly, it was kind of like there were, like, comedic moments too.
Yeah, there was a lot of there's a lot of stuff that's, like, out of date, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know, like, if it just seems funny because, like, it's just older and, like, we're interpreting it that way, or if it's just meant to be comedy.
No, I don't think it was meant to be comedy. Like, there's
No,
this
like,
one.
no, I'm not, like, the entire theme of the movie. I'm saying, like, there are, like, elements of comedy in it.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm saying I think those elements are just funny because we're viewing it with a different lens
Yeah,
nowadays, and we,
yeah,
like,
that's
have so
fair.
much more exposure to, like, what a vampire horror film should be. Like, there
Yeah.
was one line that stuck out that was, like, he says to the dude, he's like, "Your wife has a lovely neck," which was, like,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
mad funny,
And
but,
then,
like,
like,
I think they
what
were being serious with it back then.
there was, like, a line when remember when he's, like, eating the bread and he cuts his finger and Nosferatu's like, what'd he
Yeah,
say? He said
no, he, like,
something
sucks
nasty.
on his thumb after or something.
Yeah, no, but he says, like he's like, "Don't waste your precious blood," and then just, like, sucks his thumb. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Like, this movie was seen as terrifying back then. It actually got
Yeah.
banned in certain countries because of it being
Really?
too scary. Yeah.
Damn, I didn't
Dude,
know that.
because bro, like, look at Nosferatu. Like, imagine a 1922 person, like, seeing
Yeah, I
that.
was thinking about this. Imagine, like, you went back in 1920 and just fucking, like, dropped the movie, like I wasn't even thinking horror. Like, imagine you went in the 20s and you showed someone, like, a fucking Transformers movie. Like, they actually their mind would fucking explode.
Yeah.
Think about
No,
how far we've come in terms of, like, movies and storytelling and stuff like that.
yeah. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, one thing about that's interesting about movies back then is, like, this movie went to theaters. It had its run a couple months, and then it's out of theaters, and, like, that's it. There's no home video.
Yeah,
Like, you see a movie in theaters when it comes out, and then it's gone. And I know there are a ton of movies that have gotten lost because of this, where they only have like a few copies of it and they just end
yeah.
up getting lost. Yeah. I know there was apparently another take on the Dracula story that came out in 1921,
Oh,
a year
really?
before this, and it ended up getting lost just because there wasn't really ways to preserve media as well back
Yeah.
then. Just that's very interesting. Like, it is sort of like watching this is sort of like opening a time capsule in a way,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
100%, yeah.
Just the way that the movie is made, like the choice of the story and the direction, aside from like the elements that like they couldn't control, such as like what camera they used or the fact that it was silent.
Yeah,
It's just like very, very cool to see that. Um, one other thing that's interesting is back then, like, you know how this has a score and
yeah.
everything, like they play music the whole time. In a theater, they had a live orchestra playing as the movie played.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. So it was
Yeah,
more like a play, kind of.
yeah. I mean, they didn't have like speakers like how we have now, you know? It's something that you don't really think about.
Yeah,
And the score for this was just recreated from like what it's just based on like that original score that was played then, but it's not the original, like how it was intended to be shown.
yeah.
But stuff like that is just crazy, honestly. Like I can't even imagine that.
I mean, I feel like I've seen, like, them do that for movie premieres. Like, they'll have the orchestra there.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's not something
Um,
that happens a lot.
yeah. But so in terms of more of the technical stuff, which was interesting to me, um, so you know how like most of it looks like it's taking place in the light, but but Nosferatu ends up dying at the end by like sunlight hitting him.
Yeah.
And that was the first that was like just to mention this, that was the first time a vampire has died in the sunlight in any media.
Did
In the
they
r-
is that from, like, the book, or they made that on their
the
own?
in the book, Dracula just gets weakened by sunlight, but it doesn't kill him.
So that oh, wow, that's crazy. So that's, like, where that originates from, is
Yeah,
like
and now that's like one of the main like
vampire tropes.
yeah, exactly. But those shots of like you know how when he's like standing on the boat, there's like that famous shot of him from like down below or no?
Uh, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That looks like it's completely in the day,
Yeah.
but it was filmed in the day but what happened was when they played it, they put like a blue tint over it to make it appear to be at night. But in
Ah,
these copies that we're watching, that blue tint isn't there, so it's like harder to tell.
yeah,
Like I thought the whole time was like it was just the daytime and he could survive in the day until the movie ended. Um,
yeah.
I thought though like he was kind of goofy. I can't lie.
I
Like
think it's just a product of like it being older. I kind of like his designs. I like the long hands.
yeah, no, I
Like
definitely like the
it's
design.
definitely a new, like a more interesting take on the Dracula look.
Yeah, and
But
it's obviously iconic.
yeah, but now I'm
Um,
interested. So now with Edgar's remake that's gonna come out, isn't that crazy? It's gonna be literally 100 years.
I know they have done remakes of this, and there actually is a movie. I forget what it's called.
But
It's like something of the vampire, Shadow of the Vampire, maybe. And it's
mhm,
basically about the making of this Nosferatu film. So they
okay.
have someone playing the director, and the story in that is that the the movie was made and it's a real vampire, and they just like got the vampire and made him like star in this movie, and he's played by Willem Dafoe.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What's
so
it
I
called?
it's called Shadow of the Vampire, I think.
Is it good?
I've heard it's good. I mean, I definitely want to check it out, especially after watching this.
Yeah.
I
When
think
did
it's
it come
called
out?
um, the year 2000.
So
They
who
revisit
plays the
this.
the vampire?
Willem Dafoe.
Oh, he's actually Nosferatu?
Yeah,
Damn.
which is
What
cool.
the
That's
fuck?
pretty good
I wanna
casting.
watch that.
Yeah, no, I
It's three
definitely
and a
want to
half
watch that.
on, right, is it accurate?
I don't know. I've never seen it, but yeah. In terms of the story for this movie, though, did you like enjoy the liberties that it took from like the classic vampire?
It was interesting to see, like, where all this originated from. I know they seem, like, very cliche now, but at the time, this was, like, the first time they were doing something like this.
Yeah. And just to talk about my favorite scene a little bit, I really liked the scene on the boat where he's like going and killing all the people. But like
Yeah.
that one part where he like rises up from his coffin,
Muffin, yeah, yeah. I was gonna
like
say that's my favorite scene.
yeah, I can imagine like a 1920s person seeing that and just like being like insanely
Yeah,
terrified because like they
yeah.
had no exposure to anything like this, you know? Like
Oh, no.
there's no internet where they can like see what a vampire looks like or something.
Yeah,
But yeah, I thought it was cool that um like vampirism itself can't be spread from person to person. There's just like this one vampire and he just kills people, but he doesn't turn people.
is it like that in the book too?
I'm not sure. I don't think it is. But
Yeah,
and that's also like such an iconic trope of vampires. You get bit, you turn into one, you know?
yeah.
Um there was like a lot of rats used in this, which I was kind of confused. Like I don't know how they got animals to like be in films that were made this long ago.
I don't even know. Yeah, because they had the rats in the, what you call it?
In Halloween there was rats too.
No, but, like, in the coffins. I didn't, now that you're
Yeah,
pointing
yeah.
that out, yeah.
And also remember that at the beginning they mention a werewolf and then
Yeah, it was like this werewolf running around or something
they
like
show
that.
like a hyena that was like painted different colors. I was like, how the fuck did they get this hyena
Oh,
to like
yeah, I forgot about the hyena. I was like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, it was like so random.
Yeah,
Um I like how it like showed his letters sometimes and like the newspaper articles.
yeah,
They sort of treat it like a plague, like the vampire,
yeah,
which honestly, which you know, elements of COVID, obviously.
yeah,
Uh, it was like a cool take on it, but it's sort of like they played into what was scary for them, like back at that time,
yeah, yeah.
you know. Which something like this is obviously it's not scary today, but
Back then, yeah.
it only took 3 months to shoot, which is
Really? Damn.
yeah, which I was like,
Yeah.
how? But did you notice there's a lot of stop motion in it too?
What? Honestly, no, I didn't.
Like, remember the scene where he, like, packs himself in the coffin and then,
Yeah.
like, dips? Or no?
Like
Like,
while he's going.
the coffins, like, float up onto the carriage, remember?
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
that was
actually.
all, like, stop motion, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also one of the times, like, when he opens a door, they do it in stop motion. I think it's just to give a little bit more of, like a jarring,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
eerie kinda feel to him.
yeah.
Also, it's interesting that he only blinks once in the entire movie.
How did you find this out?
I I, like, counted every blink. No, I'm kidding.
Nah,
Something I do,
legit.
which, like, I would recommend everyone to do this. This is, like, how I know a lot about movies and, like, just educate myself because, like, obviously, I'm not going to film school or, like, I'd have no qualifications to actually, like, talk about
Yeah,
movies besides that I just want to. Um, every time I watch a movie, I go on IMDb, and they have a little tab that says trivia, and it just basically says, like, a bunch of behind the scenes shit. It says, like it tells you things that, about the making of the film, about,
yeah,
like, certain, like, statistics about the film, for example, like, how many times he blinked, and, like, this whole story of how, like, Bram Stoker's wife sued them and they had to delete all the copies. Like, that shit is, like, in the IMDb page. So just,
Oh,
like,
really?
knowing more about a film, like, makes you more qualified, I guess,
What?
to discuss it.
Talk
Like, I don't
about it,
wanna just,
yeah.
like, be spewing, like, nonsense on here. I guess I mean, I
Yeah,
could, like, it doesn't matter, but yeah, I would definitely just after you watch something, just, like, go read up on it a little bit, like, educate
yeah,
yourself about the movie and, like, it's all interesting stuff, so
yeah.
but yeah, um, favorite character for you?
I mean, I like Count Orlok.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I feel like, well, a lot of these we have similar opinions
similar,
on,
yeah, I mean, it's similar, yeah.
but obviously, like, he's the standout. The main guy is,
Yeah.
like, fine. I kinda like that other dude that was, like, insane.
What, the dude in the prison or
Yeah,
whatever, well, yeah.
that scene where they were, like,
Was he in a
chasing him
prison?
on the rooftop was pretty cool. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
he
he
was
was
in
supposed to be what, another vampire?
I don't know, dude. I was actually so
Yeah,
confused
there's
because
a lot of there's a lot of times I was, like, confused during the movie, but it's
yeah,
not the
because
movie's fault, it's just, like,
no,
at
yeah,
the time,
and
it's
also the
hard
thing
to really
about
tell like that.
a silent film is, like, you look down for a second, like, you don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, if
Yeah.
you're watching a normal film, people are talking, like, you can at least, like, even if you, like, look at your phone for a second or something, you can still, like, be in the movie and, like, be aware of
Yeah.
what's happening. But, like, something like this, you really can't.
No, not at all.
So, and people back then had insanely longer attention spans than, like, our generation, so
Yeah.
it probably
Yeah.
was not an issue at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, this this is, like, random, but social media is actually destroying my attention span, bro. I can't lie.
Yeah, dude. Everyone's like, even like at work, dude. I feel like like people just now. I don't know if more people have ADHD now, or I mean, this is definitely contributing to it, like technology and stuff like that. It definitely
Yeah.
makes it hard.
Like, you wouldn't be able to make a silent film now. Like, who would be able to sit through that and not feel a need to be stimulated with some other form of
If
media?
they, I feel like I'd be able to watch it. I mean, I look at my phone here and there, but if like the people behind it were good and it was interesting, like
Yeah, no,
If
I would,
Edgar's.
but I'm saying the general public.
Oh, no, like, if Edgar's, released this Nosferatu film and it was silent, I'd still watch it.
Yeah, for sure. That
Oh,
looks really
I had a question about that for you. Like, how much do you think they're going to take inspiration from this movie, like the original Nosferatu for his version of it? Or do you think they're
I
just gonna do something completely different with just Nosferatu?
I think it's gonna be for most part, like, beat for beat, the story. I
Really?
would guess. That's
See,
just my prediction.
I disagree. I feel like he's gonna just make his own story, and Nosferatu is just kind of the vampire in it.
Yeah, and either could work.
No, yeah,
I kinda would
I'm
prefer him to do his
some.
own thing, but I
No,
just feel like
I agree.
touching, like, such a classic film, you don't wanna, like, stray too far away, you
I
know?
mean, yeah, classic, but how many people have actually seen Nosferatu?
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
You know what I
Um,
mean?
Yeah.
If the most people now, honestly, and this is 100% true, the only reason why people know him is because of SpongeBob. That's how I
Yeah.
knew who it was from.
No, you're right. You're actually right. Uh, I think he was
Yeah.
actually in it like another SpongeBob episode recently. I saw something on
Yeah, I saw
Twitter,
some on Twitter too. Yeah, I did see that.
which is funny.
Yeah,
Like everyone knows Nosferatu. Like,
but I didn't know who he was until SpongeBob. Honestly, like I knew
yeah.
Dracula.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was gonna mention also, I don't know if you've seen the like I think it's from 1931 or something, the Universal Dracula, that original.
Oh, I haven't seen it in a long time,
It
but
is very similar. Like I was
yeah.
as I was watching them, I was like, wait, yeah, this is mad similar. But I'd prefer that one because
Mhm.
I like Dracula being more of like closely human because that to me makes it a little more scary because like you
Yeah,
don't really know.
yeah,
Like you know something's off about him, but you can't really tell. Like Nosferatu is like just a
creature.
creature.
Yeah, I like that though. I like how he's a creature.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely like different like
Yeah, yeah.
good qualities to each take that you do. But yeah, I definitely prefer the Universal's Dracula. Um
To Nosferatu.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I just like as much as I can appreciate a silent film, like having dialogue and having sound just elevates obviously a movie that much
Yeah,
more.
no, 100%.
Yeah, like there's a reason why they don't do silent films
Films
anymore.
anymore. Yeah,
Um,
but yeah.
but
What did
yeah,
you end
like
up giving the?
I I gave it a 4 star, 8 out of 10. I really like enjoyed it. You know, I thought the story was pretty good for what it was. Nosferatu's
Yeah,
such an iconic character, and I was never bored throughout watching it, which I expected
yeah,
myself to be. Like it kind of felt like doing homework. Or at least I thought it was gonna feel like doing homework to watch this,
yeah.
but I really enjoyed it. So
I'm still like, cause honestly, I watched it this morning, so I'm still kind of like, yeah, it's either gonna be a 3.5 and a 4. I kind of gotta sit down and think about it a little bit more. But I definitely was a little more entertaining than I expected it to be.
yeah, no, and I'm glad you recommended this because this is like very different from
Yeah,
stuff that
it's
we
very different
usually
than what
talk
we.
about.
Yeah, yeah. I just saw all like at the time the casting news about Eggers one, so I was like, oh, we should just watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's probably the oldest movie we'll ever discuss on here,
yeah,
unless I recommend something from like
yeah.
1910 or something. But yeah, I guess that's really it. We can move
Yeah.
on to questions.
Any question? Oh,
Little,
do we have any questions?
yeah, we have a few. Hold on. I think people are running out of questions to ask us. Let's see. Here we go. Um, so here's one from at Guyzo Frank, and he says, "Chainsaw Man episode 1." I'm assuming he's asking your thoughts, Joe.
I haven't seen it yet, but um, I'll give a little background to Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is a new anime. Been reading the manga for like a year, so I know like pretty much what's gonna happen in the show, and it's about like this guy Denji, and basically he's very poor, and his dad owes a debt to the Yakuza. His dad died, so he has to help pay it off. And in this world, there's like demons that like live with among people. So like everything has a demon. So like there's like a tomato demon. There's like a water like there's demons for everything. So like the more people fear you, the more powerful your demon is. So like the main overarching villain of the show is like the gun demon. Like there's a like those are like the strongest people. So what happens is he has like a pet. I think it's called Okja. I forgot the not Okja. I forgot the name of what it's called, but that's what he hunts demons with. And it's like a little kind of like dog with a chainsaw on its head. So basically, what happens is the Yakuza sends him to hunt someone, and it's a trap, and they go to kill him, and he dies. And then his pet like merges with him, and he becomes like he's half demon, uh half demon, half human, and he becomes like his pet was like the chainsaw demon,
He
so he becomes
becomes Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man, yeah. And the anime is like very, very brutal and like bloody and honestly, you Matt, you probably like it because you like body horror. Like
Yeah,
they've been
I feel like it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be like the next
yeah, it's
big
gonna blow
anime.
up. Yeah,
And I've seen like just on Twitter in general, people are like saying how good it is already.
yeah.
So yeah, you got to check that out, I guess.
Yeah, I
Maybe
will. I'm not the reason why I'm not in a rush to watch is because I read it, so like I know what's going on. Like it's not
yeah,
like new material. Like I know what's gonna happen, but I still want to watch it. It's still cool to see what they do.
yeah, for sure. Um, Here's an interesting one from Nick Scamato 13 on Instagram. What is your favorite movie that stars an African American character as the lead?
Mm, probably Get Out.
Yeah, Get Out is a
Get
good one.
Out.
Um,
I gotta think of
Also,
any
I don't know if
movies.
you've ever seen 12 Years a Slave, but that's one of my
I have
favorite
not,
movies.
but I don't
Such a
want
great
to.
movie. And that's the main actor in that is like phenomenal. It's like he has like that hard name to pronounce.
Oh, he was in Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah, yeah. Movie's awesome. And let me think. Black Panther, Black Adam also.
I mean it's animated, but Into the Spider Verse.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say Soul also.
Soul is another one.
Yeah.
Um,
Any movie starring Kevin Hart, probably. Um,
oh, actually, I had a movie news that we forgot. We forgot to mention.
what?
Uh, about the Safdie brothers.
Safdie Bros. Yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
that
they
too.
announced their new film with Netflix, and it's gonna take place. Adam Sandler's returning, and it's gonna basically take place in the world of like sports car. I don't know, no collective card betting, not betting. I'm sorry, like collecting cards. Like I
Yeah,
don't know if
that's
it's gonna be sports cards or Pokemon cards, but to me that sounds sick. Because personally, I'm big into Pokemon. Like I collect Pokemon cards, and like the market for it, especially since COVID, is like exploded.
yeah,
Like
I was gonna say this is like the perfect time to
yeah, so it's I'm pretty interested to see what they're gonna do. I mean, I loved Uncut Gems, so I'm excited for that. I wanna see when they
yeah,
set the
no,
date
it'll
for
definitely be
this.
interesting. I definitely like Adam Sandler in a serious role. He
Um,
was in that movie Hustle, which I don't know if you
it
watched.
was alright. I watched Hustle. I thought it was okay.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that is very exciting. Safdie Bros are
Yeah.
great, obviously. But anyways, Nick, thank you for the question. Um, and then there's like one more from at Sophia.k.ua. In your opinion, what are some of the best book to movie adaptations created? We had a question like this, I think, before.
Book to movie in terms of, like, does a comic book count or, like, a novel?
I'll probably say a novel, but I mean, I guess a
Novel?
comic book could count.
I mean, I really like The Great Gatsby. I liked, that's, like, the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah,
Um,
I would say any of the Harry Potter movies.
yeah, the Harry
Those
Potter.
are
I mean,
great.
I haven't seen them in a while, but great.
In terms of like accuracy to the book
Yeah.
too, there's like a few things that are different, but the whole
I mean,
world that they
the
built in that is like perfectly as it's described in the books, which is really cool.
you could say The Thing. The Thing's based off a book.
Yeah, that's what I think that's based off a short story, but like either way,
Even
sure.
Hellraiser.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hellraiser because like I mentioned
Hellraiser.
before, I'm actually reading the book, and
Yeah.
from what I've read so far, it is very accurate. At least the first film,
Yeah.
Hunger Games, um, Coraline. We haven't read the book, but
Oh, yeah, it's another one.
um, but yeah, my final answer, I'll probably say Harry Potter for sure.
Um, yeah, I mean, I guess for me, probably, Great Gatsby.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for the question. Thank you guys for those questions.
Yeah.
Um, I guess now it's my turn to recommend something,
Yeah, I'm curious
and
what you're gonna recommend.
I am choosing a movie from 2004. It's
Mhm.
directed by Michael Gondry. Stars Kate Winslet and Jim Carrey, and it's called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh,
It's
I've
one
heard
of my
of this.
it's one of my favorite movies. A very smart film, and it's also very deep and emotional. And
Isn't it,
it's gonna be tugging at your heartstrings. I'll put it
isn't
like
it
that.
like he's living in a TV show, but like it's not real or
No,
something?
no, that's the Truman Show.
Oh, okay.
The premise of this is basically they live. Actually, no, I'm not even gonna say it. I don't want
Okay.
to spoil
Yeah, I
anything.
don't want to. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Let me go into it like not knowing anything. But I've
Yeah, but
had
it's
seen crazy things about them, like you know, like good things.
yeah, it's one of my favorite. It's like top three favorite movies of all time. So
Damn.
I
All right.
definitely want to talk about it. So yeah, we'll talk about that in episode 10. Like I said, I'm gonna post something maybe later in the week once if we reach 1,000 plays that
Yeah.
we'll let like you guys choose the movie for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
All of you loyal listeners, if anyone's still here. But that could be interesting. We might
Oh yeah,
get stuck
definitely.
with something terrible, but
Yeah.
yeah. I guess that'll wrap things up.
Wrap
Thank
things
you
up,
everyone
man.
who's still here. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
We'll see
Thanks for
you
sticking around.
in 2 weeks for episode 10.
Peace.
Peace.